This is your favorite channel, Science Mesh. Here is lecture for Class 9 Chemistry. Chapter 1, Fundamentals of Chemistry. Compound. A substance made up of two or more elements chemically combined together in a fixed ratio by mass is called compound. Compound is basically made up of elements. Elements are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen. When these all elements chemically combine together, a chemical bond is formed between them. Compound is formed and they have a fixed ratio. Means कि जब आप compound का कोई भी part ले लेंगे, they have fixed ratio. आप अगर water का molecule लेंगे, तो आप वाटर का कोई सा भी पार्ट ले लें, उसका फॉर्मूला H2O होगा. यानी कि it is formed by the combination of two hydrogen atom and one oxygen. Here hydrogen and oxygen are two elements and they chemically combine together to form compound. After making a compound, certain changes occur, that is, elements lose their identity. For example, in case of water, the elements hydrogen and oxygen lose their individual identity, lose their parent identity. अब ना तो वो हाइड्रोजन की ही प्रॉपर्टीज शो करेगा, ना ही ऑक्सीजन अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज शो करेगा. Rather, they chemically combine. Now H2O is a new compound. यहाँ पे new properties show होंगी. For example, hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas, but when they chemically combine together to form water, now water is present in liquid form at room temperature. Once a compound is formed, they cannot be changed into their parent elements by simple breakdown, by simple physical methods. Classification of compounds. Compounds are basically classified as ionic compounds and covalent compounds. Now let's see the properties of ionic compounds and covalent compounds. Ionic compounds cannot exist independently. For example, ionic compound is KBr, Br, यानी कि bromine cannot exist independently and K cannot exist independently. While in the case of covalent compound, they can exist as separate independent molecule. For example, water molecule can exist independently. Ionic compounds form three-dimensional crystal lattice, but covalent compounds do not form three-dimensional crystal lattice. The ionic compounds have higher melting and boiling point because of its three-dimensional crystal lattice. The high amount of temperature is required for its melting. On the other hand, covalent compounds do not have three-dimensional crystal lattice, so they have low melting and boiling point. Ionic compounds are represented by formula unit and covalent compounds are represented by molecular formula. Let's see some examples of ionic compounds. KBr and NaCl are the example of ionic compounds. Example of covalent compounds contain HCl and water. Mixture. When two or more elements or compounds mix up physically without any fixed ratio, mixture is formed. It means there is no limitations of elements or compound. In case of mixture can be made up of different elements or made up of different compounds. They are mixed up physically. There is no chemical combination. Their ratio is not fixed as in the case of compounds. When two or more elements or compounds mix up physically without any fixed ratio, mixture is formed. In mixture, component substances retain their own chemical identities and properties. That is the clear difference between compounds and mixture. In compounds, elements lose their chemical identities, lose their properties. But in case of mixture, components retain their chemical identity and properties. They do not lose their individual properties. Example of mixture is air, soil, milk and brass. Let's see what is air. Air is a mixture of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gases and water vapors. All components of air are physically mixed up. That is, we can separate nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gases and water vapors from air easily because air is a mixture. There is no chemical combination in case of air. Same is the case of soil. Soil is a mixture of sand, clay, mineral salts, water and air. All these components, sand, clay, mineral salts, water and air, are physically mixed up and they do not have fixed ratio. अब soil जिस एरिया से ले, कुछ एरिया में fertile soil होगी, कुछ एरिया में infertile soil होगी. Because they are not mixed up in a fixed ratio, their ratio can be different. Milk is another example of mixture. Milk is a mixture of water, sugar, fat, proteins, mineral salts and vitamins. Brass is a mixture of copper and zinc metal. All these four are the example of mixtures. Mixture have two types: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixtures are with uniform composition throughout, that is, there is a clear fixed ratio. If there are non-uniform combination, that are heterogeneous mixtures. Mixture can be separated into parent components by physical method. Mixture को हम easily separate कर सकते हैं physical method से, because they are physically mixed up. उनमें कोई chemical combination नहीं है. New substance are not made. It is just a physical mix-up, and a new component has same properties as the parent element. Physical method by which mixture can be separated is distillation, filtration, evaporation, magnetization, and crystallization. Distillation is clearation of water by using various apparatus. The system is heated and vapors are raised, and a clear purified substance is obtained. That is distillation. Filtration is simple. A filter is placed and the mixture is passed through it, and the filtrate is present on the filter paper, and clear water or clear liquid is obtained. Filtration is done only with the liquid mixtures. Evaporation. Evaporation is simple heating of the liquid, or heating of vapors are evaporated and the rest of the clear substance is obtained. Magnetization, for example, if sulfur and iron fillings are mixed up, they are mixed up physically, so they can be separated by using magnet. Sulfur is separated and iron fillings are separated. That is magnetization. Crystallization. Crystallization is a process in which a supersaturated liquid is heated and crystals are formed. What is supersaturated mixture? Supersaturated solution is when a solution is heated and more solute is added in it. जब हम एक ऐसा solution बनाते हैं जिसमें solution को heat करने से solute capacity increase हो जाती है. When the temperature is again cool down at the room temperature, तो उनके ऊपर crystals बन जाते हैं. That is crystallization.